A Kentucky state Republican lawmaker who is white, and yes, that's relevant to the story, she made headlines this week after it was revealed that on February 1st, she was meeting with a group of the NAACP, and she told these people that her white father, who was born in the 1930s, was a slave. Now, again, this happened on February 1st. It was not reported until this past week, but you had Kentucky State Representative Jennifer Decker, while speaking out against diversity, equity, and inclusion standards to the NAACP, telling these people, quote, "My father was a slave just to a white man, and he was white." That's the direct quote. "My white father, born in the 1930s, decades and decades after slavery had been abolished, he too was a slave." When asked by reporters to kind of, what the hell are you talking about? She did try to clear it up. She's insisted that her father was born on a dirt farm and that his mother was the illegitimate child of a very prominent person who then was kind enough to allow them to work for him as slaves. She later told the Courier-Journal in Kentucky that her father was essentially the same as a slave because he was born poor and worked on someone else's land. "My father was a child and his family all worked there," she said. She later admitted that calling her father a slave was probably too much, noting that her father did not experience the same abuses that enslaved black people endured, and Miss Decker also admitted that her family hadn't been kidnapped from their homes and shipped across the ocean to do their work. So basically what she's trying to say, when she says, "Hey, my father was a slave too," what she means is, hey, aren't we all kind of slaves to the man, right? Aren't we all just, working for somebody else? Which is, I guess, what she thinks slaves were doing. They were just employed by people. They didn't own the land, and that's what made them slaves. This is the most brain-dead, historically illiterate thing that I have seen a Republican say in a very long time. And again, I cannot underscore this enough. She was talking to the NAACP, and she was talking to them about why diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are bad and will be illegal under her new bill. Which basically means, we're not going to allow companies to basically have this inclusion training. We're not going to talk about, discrimination. And we're also probably not going to have companies have to fill positions with people who actually represent the demographics of the area. So, yeah, that's pretty racist litigation or legislation, excuse me. She's talking to a group of African Americans, and she's also telling them that her white father was a slave just because he had to work for somebody else. She clearly has no idea what slavery actually was, which is why the banning of things like critical race theory and the altering of history books here in the United States is such a horrific thing, because this woman is old enough to have gone to school before they started editing the history books. She knows exactly what slavery was, and she should probably immediately be removed from office for making such a disgustingly racist comment. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.